What's the most important thing about a 3D platformer? That's right, movement. But how do you define good movement? Is it something you can plan, design on paper, and then implement? Or is it something more? Welcome back, people of the internet, for yet another Junkworld Devlog. In my quest to learn how to program, I have been building a 3D action platformer. And the past few weeks have been fully dedicated to what I think is the most important part of any platformer: the movement. Following some tutorials and stealing code from my old prototypes, I started off with a pretty basic character controller. It could walk, run, and jump. And for some games this might be enough, but I knew that for this game I wanted to take it to the next level. So I looked at tons of 3D platformer reference and I made a list of moves I thought Carly, which is the name of our protagonist, should have. And so, with this list in hand, I sat down behind my new keyboard and started working on the double jump. I started safe with what I thought was the easiest feature to implement: double jumping. I simply added a counter to my jump function, which keeps track of how many jumps you've made, and if it's less than 2, you can make another jump. Easy peasy. Fun thing about doing it like this is that you can actually set the number of jumps you can make. I would really like to add a second animation state for the double jump, perhaps even a flip or something like that, but since my current rig doesn't allow me to rotate the model without breaking her legs, this giant poof of particles will have to do for now. With the double jump out of the way, I started working on platformer's favorite move, the dash. Where adding double jumping was just an hour or so of work, adding the dash proved to be a lot more challenging. Adding the dash wasn't just as straightforward as double jumping, where double jumping only messed with the code for jumping. Dashing actually messed with the code of everything: movement, gravity, animations, the whole bunch. In the end, I made it work by adding another state for Carly to be in next to walking and running, giving her a giant speed boost and turning off the gravity for a small amount of time when she dashes. To top it off, I made this simple dash pose for her and added some screen shake and particles to really sell the effect. Something I would love to change is when Carly's on the ground and dashes, she would do a roll instead. But again, since my current rig does not allow me to rotate her, this will have to wait a little longer. Carly's movement really started to look and feel great, but I knew deep down inside I had been putting off the most difficult thing: wall sliding and wall jumping. As much difficulty as dashing had given me while implementing it, wall sliding and wall jumping was really fun. Although it was super difficult and took me many tries to get quote-unquote right, I learned a ton of new things. The way I implemented it right now is probably not the best way and it still has a few kinks, but I am really proud of it. As with many new features, I really tried to take it step by step. I started with Carly being able to stick to walls without falling and being able to jump off. Simple enough: when she hits a wall, stop gravity, and when jump is pressed, turn gravity back on. Step 2 was actually launching Carly from the wall when she jumped. This was where things got a little tricky. I really wanted Carly to actually jump off the wall, so when she is wall sliding and jump is pressed, I lock input for a short amount of time and jump in the opposite direction of the wall. To do this, I set the direction of the player with code, but this has some weird side effects. After spending a billion hours on it, I finally had it sorted and I could go on to step 3, the sliding. I made a simple sliding pose for Carly, and the actual coding of the sliding was very easy now that I had everything else sorted. The rest of the time was spent mostly making sure wall sliding acted as a player would expect it to, like not sliding when Carly was only half on a wall, stopping the slide when she slid off a wall, and those sort of things. Finally, I added some particles as she was sliding down the wall, and with that my character controller was sorted. Or was it? How do you measure if your character controller feels good and looks good? As they say, you are your own worst playtester. And that is why, the past couple of days, I have been cooking up something very special for you. An actual demo. You heard it right, I made a demo. well, it's not really a demo, but it's more of a prototype thing, I guess. I made it just to show my gratitude for all the love and support that I've been getting with these devlogs. I will post a link to the demo in the description down below where you can download it. And please keep in mind, the purpose of this demo is solely to check out how does the character controller feel thus far. There is no art, no sound, no story, no gameplay, no repairing, no nothing. Just the question, how does the movement feel? Naturally, I had to code in a ton of new features to make this demo somewhat playable, and I might have snuck in something secret. The build now is optimized for playing with a gamepad, but you can actually play with a keyboard as well. Although this brings up one of my biggest questions: how do you do platforming controls with a keyboard? But that's for another devlog. To collect some feedback on the demo and to get in touch with you in a different way, I have also opened up a Discord, which I will also link in the description down below. And if you made it this far into the video, don't forget to give it a like, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well. And don't worry, the live stream is also still coming, so make sure to let me know in the comments down below what you think we should make on that very first live stream. In any case, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.